Thank you for that. I feel like a sense of freedom when like within me when you say that. I'm just like the elements of just be like being able to drop off that which is not, to remove that which is not
Hmm.
and just allow for more what is to simply exist. Um,
Hmm.
so I like Aaron, there's a lot here that I would love to explore, especially in terms of like what you're doing business wise and how you're making your impact right now. I wonder if like I love hearing this, like when you share this story right here, because it's like 2 years ago I made this decision, and like it's true. It's like I can feel how much you own it, and I feel how much you own it in life. Um, I'm curious here around this, like this inner part here around that decision, because it feels like this decision happened 2 years ago, and up until that 2 years ago, um, I can imagine that there would have been some internal decisions. Some like you said that like there are penalties for not living inside of those two dichotomies. I want to make sure that like we don't just gloss over that, because I feel like there might be some outliers right now that are in that decision point of how do I get out of whatever those two choices, that the two ways I think I'm supposed to be in the world, and really find, I guess, that and that you were just talking about there. So
Hmm.
can you take us a little bit into that part of your journey and how you were able to start navigating that decision?
Yeah, I spent so much of my life in fear, and I'm so boldly in the outlier to trailblazer category now, but the first 33 years of my life, my whole world was how do I fit in? And there's a distinction between fitting in and belonging. And the more I tried to fit in, the less I belonged. The less I belonged to myself, the less I belonged to the tribes I was in. And at some point, the fear just, I kept thinking about it. I kept feeling it. I'd wake up every day and feel not at home in my body. And I'd play out these, well, this is what I want, but this is what society thinks is normal. And there's very real fears when I travel, um, especially to foreign countries. People think I'm a male, and restrooms are a problem. In places where I don't know the language, is really scary to try to say, "Hey, I'm allowed in this restroom." Um, so my journey was this constant turmoil of who's more important, me or the societal norm. And for many years, the societal norm won. And it wasn't until I hired my first coach and we started just diving into all kinds of ways I was hiding. And in one way, I was hiding myself through my body. And so she just at some point asked me point blank, like, who's more important? And I could no longer say society. It was time. And there was a whole host of fears around, well, what if I do this and it's not the right thing? Okay, well, I could go back. There's augmentation, right? Or, there was the what if I don't do it? What's the cost of inaction? And so when I started weighing it, the cost of inaction far outweighed the cost of acting and it being the wrong thing. So I've started using that framework actually in so much of my decision processes of what's the cost of inaction and what's the consequence of action and which one's greater. And so often the cost of inaction is greater.
Can you say that one more time, Aaron? There, that's like a really interesting distinction. Like you could probably see my energy rising up with that. I'm like, huh. Can
Mm-hmm.
you say that one more time?
Yeah. What's the cost of inaction and what are the consequences of action?
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. Click on the link below to watch the full conversation and go to niyamaashan.com/tribe to get additional resources and exclusive invitation to tribe only events. Journey on.